Hi and welcome to this video. Today, we're going to talk about how related people are to bananas. You might be wondering how humans and bananas are connected. Well, evolution and genetics are responsible for everything. The Musaceae family, which is broader than the Musaceae genus, includes bananas as a type of fruit. On the other hand, humans are a member of the wider Hominidae family and specifically the Homo sapiens species. Therefore, it may appear at first that people and bananas have nothing in common. The genetic makeup of these two populations does, however, share certain commonalities when we examine it more closely. Since both people and bananas are eukaryotes, their cells have a real nucleus and organelles that are attached to membranes. Prokaryotic cells lack a genuine nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, making eukaryotic cells more sophisticated and organized than prokaryotic cells. The DNA of the cell is housed in the nucleus, a spherical or oval structure that is present in the core of eukaryotic cells. The genetic instructions for how the organism develops and works are found in the DNA, which is grouped into chromosomes. The nuclear envelope, a double-layered membrane that encircles the nucleus and isolates the DNA from the rest of the cell, surrounds the nucleus. Organelles that are attached to membranes are specialized cell structures that carry out certain tasks. The mitochondria, which provide energy for the cell, the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus, which are involved in protein synthesis and transport, and the lysosomes, which are involved in waste management and degradation, are examples of membrane-bound organelles in eukaryotic cells. Additionally, eukaryotic cells feature cytoskeletons, which are networks of protein filaments that support the maintenance of the cell's structure and let the cell to move. The fluid-filled area inside of eukaryotic cells that houses all of the cell's organelles is known as the cytosol. The DNA of humans and bananas is arranged into chromosomes, which is a feature shared by both species. Deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, is a double-stranded, helical molecule that carries the genetic code that determines how an organism grows and performs. The four nucleotide bases that make up DNA are adenine, cytosine, C, guanine, G, and thymine, T. The order or sequence in which these bases are organized defines the genetic information contained in the DNA. One chromosome from each parent makes up each of the 23 pairs of chromosomes found in human DNA. A human cell contains 46 chromosomes in total. A long, continuous strand of DNA that has been coiling and packing to fit within the cell makes up each chromosome. DNA is also arranged into chromosomes in bananas. Depending on the exact banana variety, the number of chromosomes in a banana cell varies, however the majority of variants contain about 20. The DNA in banana chromosomes is a long, continuous thread that is twisted and compacted to fit within the cell, similar to human chromosomes. The process of growing from a single cell into a multicellular creature is the same for both people and bananas. A single cell's growth and differentiation into a complex organism with specialized cells and tissues is known as development. In humans, fertilization, the joining of an egg cell and a sperm cell to create a single cell known as a zygote, marks the start of development. The earliest cell of the embryo is called the zygote, which has a complete complement of chromosomes. The zygote starts to divide after fertilization, eventually becoming a morula, or ball of cells. The morula subsequently develops into a hollow ball of cells called a blastocyst, which has an outer layer of cells called the trophoblast and an interior cell mass. The trophoblast will eventually develop into the placenta, whereas the inner cell mass will eventually form the embryo. The blastocyst embeds itself in the uterine lining, where it starts to grow into a fetus. The fetus passes through a number of developmental phases throughout pregnancy, including the establishment of the major organs and bodily systems. In bananas, fertilization, or the union of male and female gametes known as pollen and ovules, is also the first stage of growth. One embryonic cell is present in the seed that is produced from the fertilized ovule. The embryonic cell splits and differentiating into several cell types that will eventually form the various organs and tissues of the banana plant occurs when the seed germinates or starts to develop. The growth of the stem, leaves, and flowers are only a few of the stages that the banana plant goes through. Both people and bananas go through many stages of growth and development before reaching maturity, which is a comparable process for both species. The processes of growth and development entail an organism's gradual rise in size and complexity. Humans grow and develop throughout their lives, starting at conception. The development of the fetus's primary bodily systems and organs takes place during the course of pregnancy. The infant continues to develop and grow after birth, passing through a number of stages of infancy, youth, and adolescence before becoming an adult. The human body goes through a number of size, form, and function changes during these phases. For instance, the body expands and becomes more proportional between infancy and childhood. The body goes through puberty during adolescence, which is characterized by the beginning of sexual maturity and the emergence of secondary sexual traits. Growth and development also take place in phases in bananas. The growth of the stem, leaves, and flowers are only a few of the stages the banana plant goes through after germination. New leaves, flowers, and finally fruit are produced as the plant develops. The fruit grows and develops throughout its life cycle, beginning as a tiny flower bud and finally reaching its full size. The banana will keep maturing and growing until it is ready to be consumed. The way that people and bananas react to their surroundings is comparable, and both species are capable of detecting and responding to a variety of stimuli. Stimuli are alterations in the environment that an organism's sensory receptors can perceive and cause a reaction to. Physical inputs including touch, pressure, warmth, sound, and light may be physical in humans. The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin are just a few of the sensory receptors that humans have that are designed to detect various inputs. When a signal is recognized, it is sent to the brain, where it is processed and a reaction is produced. For instance, if someone touches a hot surface, they will experience discomfort and immediately remove their hand to prevent harm. A person will get hungry and may start salivating if they encounter something that looks delectable. A startled individual may cover their ears to prevent injury if they hear a loud noise. Physical sensations including touch, pressure, warmth, and light are also possible in bananas. Bananas contain sensory receptors that are adapted to detect various stimuli in their fruit, stems, and leaves. The plant's vascular system receives the information when a stimulus is recognized and transmits it so that the plant may respond. For instance, a banana plant may move its leaves or branches in response to being touched or shaken in order to prevent harm. A banana plant may grow taller and produce more blooms and fruit in response to being exposed to a lot of light. Low temperatures may cause a banana plant to adapt by halting its development and going into dormancy. Both people and bananas can control their internal environment to keep it within a specific range of typical values, which is how they both maintain homeostasis. In spite of changes in the external environment, an organism maintains a steady internal environment through the process of homeostasis. Homeostasis is sustained in bananas by a number of different systems and methods. For instance, by transporting nutrients and water throughout the plant and eliminating waste, the vascular system contributes to the maintenance of homeostasis. By taking water and nutrients from the soil and securing the plant in place, the root system aids in the maintenance of homeostasis. Because they photosynthesize and provide energy for the plant, the leaves aid in the maintenance of homeostasis. Both people and bananas employ a similar technique to get energy, converting dietary energy into a form that can be utilized by their cells. Energy, which is the capacity to perform labor, is necessary for all living things. In humans, food provides energy that is digested and transformed into a form that the body's cells can utilize. Metabolism is the process of transforming food into energy. Food is broken down into simpler molecules during metabolism, such as carbohydrates and fatty acids, which the body's cells may use to make energy. Humans mostly obtain their energy from the simple sugar glucose, which is created when carbs are broken down. The body's cells absorb glucose from the blood, which is then turned into ATP, a type of energy, by the cells, adenosine triphosphate. All of the body's processes and activities are powered by ATP, which is employed as the body's primary energy currency. The mechanism by which plants transform light energy into chemical energy, known as photosynthesis, also provides energy to bananas. Plants absorb light energy during photosynthesis and transform it into chemical energy in the form of ATP. The plant cells utilize the ATP to fuel their operations and activities after that. Plant cells' chloroplasts, which include a pigment called chlorophyll that absorbs light energy, are where photosynthesis takes place. Utilizing light energy, water and carbon dioxide are transformed into oxygen and glucose, a basic sugar that may be utilized by plant cells to create energy. both people and bananas produce waste that needs to be removed in order to maintain homeostasis, and both species have a comparable procedure for excreting waste materials. The body's cells create waste products, which are compounds that are harmful or no longer needed and must be excreted. In humans, metabolism, the process through which the body transforms food into energy, results in the production of waste products. Food is broken down by the body during metabolism into simpler compounds like carbohydrates and fatty acids that the body's cells may utilize to make energy. To maintain homeostasis, the body has to get rid of waste products like urea, carbon dioxide, and water that are created when food is broken down. The kidneys, which eliminate urea and other waste products through urine, the skin, which eliminates water and waste materials through sweating, and the lungs, which eliminate carbon dioxide through breathing, are the principal organs in charge of removing waste products in humans. As a result of metabolism, especially during photosynthesis, the process by which plants transform light energy into chemical energy, waste products are also created in bananas. Plants absorb light energy during photosynthesis and transform it into chemical energy in the form of ATP. The plant cells utilize the ATP to fuel their operations and activities after that. However, in order for the plant to maintain homeostasis, waste products from the photosynthetic process, such as oxygen and water, must be removed. In bananas, the leaves, which remove oxygen through transpiration, and the roots, which remove water and waste materials through the soil, are the primary organs in charge of waste product elimination. Both people and bananas may modify their behavior or physiology in reaction to environmental changes, showing that both species have a comparable mechanism for adjusting to their surroundings. An organism transforms via the process of adaptation in order to better survive and flourish in its environment. In humans, adaptation can take the form of physiological changes like immune system development or climatic adaptation, as well as behavioral changes like picking up new skills or adjusting to novel social settings. For instance, if a person relocates to a place with a different temperature, they may need to adapt by utilizing various forms of shelter or wearing various sorts of clothes. Changes in behavior or physiology can also be a part of adaptation in bananas. A banana plant, for instance, may adjust by growing taller and generating more leaves to maximize its exposure to light if it is exposed to low amounts of light. When a banana plant is subjected to strong winds, it may adjust by developing thicker stems and bigger leaves to improve stability. In conclusion, despite their apparent lack of genetic affinity at first appearance, humans and bananas really have a common ancestor who lived millions of years ago. Thank you for viewing.